He actually went to trial for it.
Yeah.
And beat it.
Because they thought he did.
Right.
We knew who did that. That's the difference. So it's like, I don't know. Get out of jail. I just feel like he chased it a different way. You know, do your music, but don't mention me like I'm young. I ain't got nothing to do with what you and my mama got going on. I don't even pay attention to you. Oh. That's a goofy to me.
So you weren't even thinking about him at all while he was locked up?
What I'm thinking about him for, he not no threat. He not on what I'm thinking about him for. I still be outside. I still go to Chicago. I still be on the low end. I still be in my hood. Don't nobody never do what I'm thinking about him for. He be out of town more than he be in town. What am I thinking about him for? He ain't no.
He hasn't even been home that long, right? A few months, 6 months.
Man, look, nigga be bouncing in and out of town, making it look good like you in your city. I really be outside.
Show your face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, today we got an interesting one because what we thought we knew, I guess, is actually not the accurate information when it comes to Tay Savage and the mother of Blasian Doll, according to Blasian Doll. Not to mention, Blasian has some interesting words for Tay Savage, calling him a goofy, saying he isn't no type of threat, and making claims that he wasn't the one that actually had any dealings when it comes to her mother's death, despite him trolling and making it seem like he was a suspect that just so happened to beat the body. Alright, now like I said, it's interesting because to hear her talk how she's talking about Tay Savage goes against everything we was told about him and we know, but then again, she's from Chicago too. So I'm sure she isn't afraid of none of them rumors surrounding Tay Savage's name, as she made it very clear during this interview. Now I want to start from the beginning so you guys can get the gist of what's going on before we proceed with the video. Now, Blasian Dog is an upcoming rapper out of Chicago from the low end section whose mother was deemed a street legend despite being a female that went by the name of Cess, which was short for princess. Now, Cess was heavy into the streets, which led to Blasian Doll losing her mom at the tender age of 7 due to gun violence, where it's reported that she was involved in a retaliation murder for a guy that went by the name of Welch Anthony, aka Welch, who happens to be the reason behind the set Welch World. Now, rumor has it that Cess would slide with another guy by the name of Neef, who they called the Chiracs Bonnie and Clyde, and the two were together so much that people thought they were dating each other, but those rumors were false, as it's been claimed that Cess actually had a baby father she was involved with. They claimed 757, but back then it wasn't called 757. They were just known as the Ave or Rock Nation, some people would say, who happened to be into it with the BDs, who now go by the name of Welch World or WWDC. They were very tight and would often go on drills together, where Neef would be the shooter, allegedly, and Cess would just be the driver. Now, rumor has it that Welch would be a victim to one of their missions, May 15, 2010, where it's alleged that Welch, along with someone else, would be walking when a car would pull up alongside them, with the individual quickly sprinting from the car. The suspect would shoot Welch and the person he was walking with in the leg, killing Welch on the scene, but the other victim will somehow make it away alive. Now, to this day, people say that Tay Savage was the one that was with Welch when he passed away, but he laid those rumors to rest during a recent 16 Shot 'em interview when he would say that he was in the hospital in intensive care when Welch was killed. He says that he was shot on the 13th of May and Welch was killed on the 15th. So that slams all the rumors of him being with Welch, because the man himself said that he wasn't there. However, let's get into the deaths of both Cess and Neef, because their deaths came not too long after Welch was killed, and this is what got people pointing fingers at allegedly Tay Savage for the get back. Keep in mind, he beat both cases already, so I don't want to hear Hookah why you saying his name and implicating him in X, Y, and Z? Because you can't do this and that. Listen, they don't have no retrials once the case is dismissed, so y'all cut it out. Now, Cess, who was allegedly the driver during the murder of Welch, was killed February 5th, 2011 at 24 years old. Cess would be killed as she would arrive at a party, getting out of her car, when the suspect would run up to the car and begin shooting her multiple times. Although Cess didn't die right away, she would be transported to the hospital where she would be pronounced dead a few hours later. When it comes to her partner in crime, Neef, Neef was killed April 10th, 2011 at 22 years old. He was at a traffic light waiting for the light to change when a vehicle pulled up in front of his, kind of cutting him off slightly, and a man got out of the car and would begin firing. Neef would try to get away by putting his car in reverse, but the suspect would chase the car down, shooting until it was clear that Neef was no longer alive. Neef was also transported to the hospital, where he was also later be pronounced deceased. Dwayne Timberlake, aka Tay Savage, would be that suspect in both murders, as an informant would be involved in the case of Princess Streeter, aka Cess. Police documents would say, quote, Blank told Blank that he had an individual named Tay, aka Dwayne Timberlake, whom Blank identified in the photo array, were out riding around one night when they Blank Princess Streeter in a vehicle and began to follow her. Blank said that he and Tay followed Streeter from a club located at 87th Street to a club on East 75th Street. Once Streeter parked her vehicle, Blank and Timberlake exited their vehicle, which Blank described as a blue truck. Blank goes on to say that he fired 2 shots and Timberlake approached Streeter, stood over her, and said, quote, I told you, B-word, as he fired multiple shots into her body. Blank told Blank that there were 2 other individuals in the blue truck at the time the shooting death of Princess Streeter occurred. Once Blank and Timberlake returned to the truck, Timberlake turned up the music and began to wave the gun around in the air. Blank related he learned about the shooting death of Princess Streeter on Facebook the day after the incident occurred. He also related that Streeter was the driver of a 4-door white mid-sized vehicle at the time. Anthony Welch was killed. Blank admitted he observed Streeter chasing Welch in the vehicle prior to his demise. During the conversation, Blank told Blank that he could not tell anyone about the conversation. Blank did not tell Blank what type of weapon he and Tay utilized during the shooting death of Princess Streeter. However, Timberlake usually carries a 30-shot 9mm and Blank is presently carrying a 22. Blank could add nothing further. Now, mysteriously, the witnesses against Tay will also mysteriously be shot. I'm not sure if they died, but during the interview, he did make it clear that these witnesses were mysteriously shot. Alright, so it appears that Tay Savage was the suspect in both murders and police were trying to convict Tay for the bodies. However, Tay Savage would take it to trial and beat both bodies due to lack of evidence separately, but would later be charged and convicted on a separate armed robbery charge in which one of his affiliates told on him for. He received a 20-year sentence in which he only had to do 8 years out of the 20 due to good time. Tay Savage will return to the streets after serving 8 years in 2022, and his name has already exceeded him as he would link up with Lil Reese and the rest of Lamron 300. Interesting enough, Tay would do an interview with 16 Shot on Visuals, and when he was asked about Blasian Doll and reposting Cess's daughter, Blasian Doll's music, this is what he had to say.
I had noticed was one of the murders you had beat with her daughter, a rapper, and you had reposted her music. Was there like a reason behind that?
Yeah, I just want to support her. So that's the least I could do. Trying to get her music out there. She started doing her thing, but I think they self anyway. They so damn goofy.
So he reposted her music to his page and said, quote, it was the least I can do. Alright, it kind of was like a jab, a little sub, or whatever the case may be. But when you think about it, it's really crazy, because one thing I realized about Tay Savage is that even if he's trolling, he do it in a subtle way where you don't know whether he's serious or he's trolling. But if you pay attention, you know what's going on. Now, despite police documents, witnesses, and the court saying that Tay Savage was the suspect in Cess's murder, like y'all seen in the clip earlier, Blasian Doll is saying that Tay Savage had nothing to do with it. he's a goofy, and the reason he wasn't convicted for the murder in the first place was because he wasn't the person who did it. She also claims that they know who did what, and I guess this would be something that we would not be able to confirm unless somebody flat out says such and such did X, Y, and Z. Plus, y'all gotta keep in mind that this man went to 2 separate trials for bodies. Not for anything petty, fraud, or any of that. He went to 2 separate trials for those bodies and beat both of them. I'm not glorifying killing, but that's usually unheard of. To beat one body taking it to trial is crazy. So to beat 2 of them, separate trials, that's unheard of. Alright, and it's unfortunate, but it's really not hard to get away with murder, as crazy as that may sound. And quick disclaimer, I'm not encouraging anybody to commit murder, but I am saying that, you know, if they don't have no weapon, no surveillance, no fingerprints, no matter what they say, they can't properly convict you. I watch enough of them CSI shows or whatever. You just got to pay attention. You know, if you're in the Commonwealth state and they just making up their own rules, or, you know, on some Megan and Tory Lanez type case, you know, I don't know what type of world we live in today, because that case was kind of clear cut, but that's another story. But it's hard to convict somebody for a body if they have no DNA, no fingerprints, and no weapon. It just is what it is. No surveillance, none of that. All right. But anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Do y'all think Blasian Dog just capping and knows that Tay had something to do with her mother's murder but don't want to admit it? Or do y'all think Tay had nothing to do with it and maybe he's just clout chasing? Alright, let us know in the comments, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.